Hi, welcome along to this video that's going to help stretch out and mobilise our wrists a little bit so we might feel a little bit more comfortable in positions like all fours and downward facing dog. What will you need? A mat, some knee padding, and if you want you can do some of this on a chair or just at your desk as well, which is really useful so you don't need to go anywhere. We're going to start by taking a seat here. Please be comfortable, whatever that means for you. I'm going to choose to be kneeling because that's good for me right now. We just need to make sure that we're right on top of our sit bones. We're really nice and tall, and what we're going to do here is just gently start to brace through the core, maybe just to 20 or 30%, and then we're going to run that tension through the rest of the body so the body is awake and ready to move these joints around. And when we're talking about the wrists, we want to really isolate to just the wrists. So if we bring the left arm forward, palm faces up, and then what I like to do is hold on to the forearm with this right hand, or imagine that you've got something breakable, maybe a phone or a cup or something, resting on this forearm so that this bit stays really still. Still running that tension through your body, and with that great posture, what we're going to do is create the biggest circle that we possibly can with the hand. So we might lift the fingers all the way up, and you're really going to flex here as much as you can, but aim to keep your fingers as straight as possible. And then we circle round, and again our aim is to keep that forearm really, really, really still, which is easy to say but actually quite hard to do. All the while we are breathing in through nose, out through mouth, or however it comes, just a steady breath. And you're literally just going to do a couple in each direction. Trying, as I say, to keep the fingers and the thumbs straight. Again, one of those easy to say, harder to do, particularly through that bit for me. It will get a little warm in there, don't be alarmed by that. So that's the wrist, but what it's also useful to do is to do a little bit of work through the elbow here, okay? So we keep that tension running through the body. You can do what you like with your right arm here. We start with a long left arm, and if you're sat just on the floor, you may well need to sit on a block here, just so your fingertips don't touch the floor. You may even choose to kneel up here. And then from here, we're going to lift the arm around in an arc, and as we lift it and turn it, the palm will start to face the back of the room. Now when we get to this point, go as far as you can out to the side here. So we're just working with our own natural range. Well, I've got quite mobile elbows, so if yours don't go quite so far, it's okay. And then we repeat that. And because we're looking at joint articulation, we're trying to keep the wrists and the hands still. We're trying to keep the shoulder still. So again, working through our own natural range. Just again, a couple in each direction, and then we change sides and do the wrists on the other side. So elbow into waist, palm faces up. Imagine you've got your phone or your cup of tea on your arm. You may want to lightly hold it. And then we begin to flex at the wrist as much as we can, keeping the hand the only thing that moves. Fingers and thumbs are really long. And just notice the difference from one side to the other here. You might be very, very different on one hand to the other. And there could be all sorts of reasons for that. Oh. One more each way. This one definitely feels tighter for me. This is my actual left hand and I'm left-handed. So that may well be why, I don't know. Then we release it. We're coming into the elbow, so I'm just going to come up here again. You choose a position that's comfortable for you. Keep that tension running through the entire body so you feel quite awake. We're keeping the wrist still, we're keeping the shoulder still. Just moving at our elbow as we bring it across. And then again, if your forearm is able to go out to the side, let it. And then bring it across and down again. And then out to the side, keep the elbow really still. And then release it, take it out to the side. So that's some wake up for the joints. Now let's actually do some stretching here for the tissues. I'm going to turn sideways on just so that you can see. You don't need to, it's really up to you. It's useful to be kneeling here. So if you need padding so that you are more comfortable, that's okay. Really what the kneeling does is it just gives us again a little bit of space so that we can move around more. So you could potentially sit on blocks or just find another way to work this so that you feel the stretch. From this kneeling position here, we're going to pop the hands down on the floor. Now the body will need to lean forward here. And what is useful is if you can find an angle where the hand stays flat on the floor. And again, fingers and thumbs might be nice and straight. And you begin to feel a light stretch up through the forearm here, the underside of your forearm. The shoulders stay down. And then we would shift forward if we can a little bit more until we find a stretch that we could comfortably hold for about 30 to 40 seconds with the arms straight. So the arms being straight is quite a key thing here. So you may want to set just a short timer on your phone when you do this, or maybe you have a clock nearby, whatever works. And whilst the hinge is at the hip and there may be a little rounding through the spine, we just aim to keep the shoulders down. So when the time is up, you're just gently going to back away from that. That's done the underside of the forearm and through the palm here. It's also a nice idea to do this part. Okay, so this might feel a little bit uncomfortable, can be quite sensitive here. So again, go into it nice and slowly. Take your time and choose the right place for you. You can always back away. You don't need to stay where you first chose. It's okay. You might want to come a little bit higher up on the knees here. We're going to start by laying the fingertips down and then the backs of the hands down. So if you have any joint problems, arthritis, be very careful here. This might not suit you. And then we sit the butt back very slowly. Now just to keep the back safe here, I've got my abs drawn in slightly. I'm still trying to keep my arms straight, my shoulders down away from the ears, and I can certainly feel that. Where am I feeling it? Underneath the surface of the hand, it's coming a little bit up through here in the forearms as well. So again, another 30 to 45 seconds. You can just reset that timer maybe on the phone. Keep the breath steady. These can get quite strong in their feeling. So if the breath is steady, it's actually going to help us stay in that relaxation state. When the time has passed, folks, gently unpeel yourself, and you may just need to have a little wriggle around of your fingers and your thumbs there to get more comfortable. We've got one more in this position, and it involves turning the hands inwards. Okay, so we're just beginning to hit the arm and the forearms from different angles. I'll just turn slightly more to face you so it's easier for you to see what I'm doing. I'm going to be on my knees, and then what happens is that if I start with my fingers pointing forward, I'm then actually going to turn my fingers as far in and round as I can. So I'm turning in towards the midline. Again, my shoulders stay down. They're softly down. I'm not wrenching them down for dear life. And then keeping the hands flat on the floor. That's the tricky bit. I'm just going to ease back again. Now you might see here I've got very, very mobile elbows. So I can go into what looks like quite a locked position, but it doesn't feel locked to me. So you're going to keep your elbows as straight as you are able to outside of a pain-free range. You might find that quite hard if you spend an awful lot of time on computers or driving or the like, because that area naturally gets tight. Yeah. So just take it to where you can. And then after again that 30 to 45 seconds, we're gently going to release it off. You might need a little shake out again, that's okay. And then the last one, you can sit however you like, you could do this standing, whatever works for you. We take the hands wide out to the side here. Spread the fingers and the thumb. So we've still got that slight bit of tension running through the body. We're then going to tuck the thumbs in to the palm. Wrap the fingers around, take a big breath in, and then as you breathe out, turn the knuckles down towards the floor, as if you're pouring water out of a jug. You'll feel the stretch here. So again, holding that 30 to 45 seconds. Just be mindful of how hard you're gripping on the thumbs here. And as time passes, you might find your shoulders start to creep. So we're going to keep them drawn down and the chest lifted up. And then we release that off. You may well want to do that again. That's fine. So just repeat for 30 to 45 seconds. And that's it. Really simple. Give those wrist stretches a try. Hopefully it'll just make you feel a little bit more refreshed through those joints and help you feel a little bit more comfortable the more consistently you do it in those all fours in the down dog position. Yeah. So if you can, just throw it in at any point during the day. Every day would be great. I hope you found this video helpful, and hopefully we'll see you next time. Have a great day.